I'm just gonna say it. Half-Life is incredible. I really do feel it is a truly timeless game, and it deserves all the praise it's gotten and more. Okay, but before I get into anything else, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Well, two elephants. Back in November of 2023, Half-Life had its 25-year anniversary. It brought some changes to the game, and the player count did this. These changes are mostly bug fixes, so they wouldn't impact the game too much from how someone in 1998 would have played it when it came out. Second, Black Mesa. Not to be confused with the game's setting, Black Mesa is a fan remake of Half-Life that adapts it to the source engine used in Half-Life 2. Oh, but what about Half-Life Source? We don't talk about Half-Life Source. It's definitely good and I recommend you check it out, but I want to talk about why the original game is so good, and what makes it hold up today. Black Mesa makes some pretty noticeable changes, much more than just graphical stuff. For example, pretty much the entirety of the last two chapters in Zen are completely revamped. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into the actual game, starting with the iconic tram ride. Some text appears, stating that you're in Black Mesa and are a scientist by the name of Gordon Freeman. You also ride by Barney. Ah, well, I should probably talk about the third elephant in the room. This is the security guard, Barney, who shows up as a major character in Half-Life 2. You play as him in the DLC called Blue Shift. The topic of this video is the main game, and to be honest, Blue Shift kinda sucks, but I may cover it later on. There are two other DLCs, which I'll discuss as they become relevant. Other parts of the tram ride display the great attention to detail of Half-Life, which is incredible for the technology available in 1998. Here, before the incident happens, we get a great look at the scientists and guards just going about their daily life. I find it to be reminiscent of the start of BioShock, but if you ask me, BioShock did it better. Multiple other trams ride by, one of which has a guy wearing a suit in it, probably a Black Mesa official.
Looks like you're running late.
A security guard has to let you out of the tram and through the next door, which will happen a lot. There's also a giant pit surrounding the platform, which would probably be an OSHA violation, but they're too poor in the 90s to afford it. Oh, also the buttons don't actually make any noise. The guard just makes beeping sounds with his mouth. He lets you into the airlock, and we're greeted with the first chapter. Although the main purpose of this chapter is just to get the game started, there is a ton of stuff you can do here. You can talk to scientists and guards, mess with this guy's computer, turn on the alarm, watch this poor guy get scammed by a soda machine and then blow up his lunch. It's all good fun.
My God, what are you doing?
I really can't stress enough just how detailed the game is, especially for 1998. It's at the point where you can press this tiny little light switch and an annoyed scientist will have to go and turn it back on. Right next to that room, the suit guy from before is having a muffled conversation with a scientist. He's definitely a Black Mesa official, as we can see the Black Mesa logo on his suitcase.
Sorry, Mr. Freeman, I got explicit orders not to let you through without your hazard suit on.
This guard won't even let you near the test chamber until you get your hazardous environment suit. It's in a locker room nearby, with the lockers of many scientists, including you. In Gordon's locker is some pretty interesting stuff. His diploma, a picture of a baby, and 2 books. These are The Orchid Eater and The 37th Mandala, both of which were written by Mark Laidlaw, who created the story for Half-Life. Laidlaw definitely won't be involved with any future Half-Life games, as he left after Episode 2, and I believe he no longer wishes to be involved with Valve. Now, let's get into the HEV suit. There are 3 stations, but only one is there. The missing ones are likely other scientists performing experiments. The suit itself is orange and gray, with the lambda symbol on the chest. Also, no helmet or gloves. Perfect for surviving radiation. When you pick it up, this awesome theme plays.
Why do we all have to wear these ridiculous ties?
Your UI only appears after you pick up the HEV suit, which is a small but great element for immersion. You have health, shield, and flashlight. Flashlights work kind of oddly in Gold Source, and I'll talk more about that later. Speaking of which, Gold Source. Gold Source is the engine used for Half-Life, not to be confused with Source and Source 2, which are used for Half-Life 2 and Half-Life Alyx respectively. Gold Source is fairly primitive, especially compared to the later Source engine, but it gets the job done well enough. It doesn't have physics like you probably know it does, and whenever you move something it just slides awkwardly across the floor. Now, Time to go do your actual job.
Gear in the barrel
With your
today.
suit donned, the security guard will finally let you through. These little message boards have this neat rotating effect. It shows some shots from the outside of Black Mesa and a picture of a security guard. This isn't the same model we usually see in-game, so I imagine it's an old unused version. Down an elevator and through some hallways, you'll get to a room with some scientists that brief you.
Here you are. We just sent the sample down to the test chamber.
We've boosted the anti-mass spectrometer to 105%. Bit of a gamble, but we need the extra resolution.
The administrator is very concerned that we get a conclusive analysis of today's sample. I gather they went to some lengths to get it.
They're waiting for you, Gordon. In the test chamber.
A couple scientists speak to you some more before it's time to go into the test chamber. Nothing too important, but one of them does speak about something called a resonance cascade. The actual
Test chamber.
is really big, with the huge anti-mass spectrometer taking full focus. After you activate it, it'll go through a few stages, each performing some new spectacle. I know I've already said it a lot, and I'm going to say it a lot more, but this is extremely impressive for its time and still looks good. After some time, the cart will be brought up, and when you push it into the laser... But wait! Don't worry, it's not an ad. The story of the people that got you this cart is actually another DLC. I don't actually have any footage of it because it's not on Steam, and we need another player, since it is co-op. Because I haven't played it, I don't really have a lot to say about it, but if you really like Half-Life, it could be something worth looking into. Anyways, back to the actual game. Everything around you starts to crumble, green light flashing everywhere. A bolt of extra-dimensional energy explodes into the observation room, killing the scientists inside. Then you phase into somewhere completely different. Before you can even fully process what happened, you're suddenly teleported again. This time, aliens are staring at you? When you finally come to, it's all destroyed. The scientists in the airlock are dead, and a half-destroyed retina scanner will need to be used to get back out. A scientist is reviving a guard on the other side. If you wait long enough, he'll actually come back to life and can be beckoned to follow. There isn't much point, though, as he can't follow you through the rubble. None of the Source games are known for their pathfinding, and Half-Life 1 definitely has it worse. The developers knew this, and were smart to mostly use easily traversable locations for allied NPCs.
He tried to warn them.
I never thought I'd see a resonance cascade, let alone create one.
Gordon, you're alive. Thank God for that hazard suit. I'm afraid to move him and all our phones are out. Please, get to the surface as soon as you can and let someone know we're stranded down here. You'll need me to...
A few surviving scientists order you to go to the surface, where rescue might await. It's all chaos, but things gradually get better further along. At least, they do somewhat. In this next room, a head crab will suddenly teleport in. Since you don't have any weapons, the only thing to do is run from it. This is a subtle lesson that not every enemy needs to be fought. Most enemies don't even drop anything, so killing them just drains your ammunition and health. But, in just a moment, you will get a weapon. The famous crowbar. Now, it may look different than what you've seen before. That's because the models activated right now aren't actually the original ones. They're newer ones made by Gearbox. A lot of people hate them, and I know many will disagree with me, but I don't really see the issue with them. But, to keep the effect of playing in 1998, I'll enable the original models from here on out. Going back up the elevator. Going back up the ladder, there would be a guard fighting zombies. Half-Life has some pretty unique zombies, as they aren't spread by conventional disease. Rather, they're the hosts of parasitic headcrabs. The guard is necessary to deal with the zombie since he has a gun, but you can literally just kill him to get it. This is where Half-Life differs from so many other games. You can do pretty much whatever you want. It seems there's no easy way out of here. But wait, can't we just escape by going back to the tram? The button to go back to the platform can't be used, but it can be smashed. And, uh-oh.
No! Stay back! Gordon!
I'm starting to think someone at Valve really doesn't like scientists. He tried to download mods without Steam Workshop. Poor guy. You can get this pistol from the dead guard here. You know, if you didn't already. This thing is quite strong, and shouldn't be underestimated, even later in the game. It has the basic slow firing mode with surprising accuracy, but also a rapid fire mode with terrible accuracy that will devour your ammo. Only use this in close range encounters. In just the next area is a new enemy type, Hound Eyes. These are dog-like creatures with 3 legs and too many eyes to count. In my opinion, these are the easiest in the game to deal with. Just a few bullets will kill them, and even if you can't, they are quickly scared away. Speaking of being scared away, that's another way Half-Life is unique. The game's tagline is run, think, shoot, live. Emphasis on the live part. Although definitely not a survival game by today's standards, it still has a very heavy emphasis on survival. Gordon and the rest of the Black Mesa staff are simply trying to escape and survive the incident. You could argue the same for the invading alien creatures. Although they're odd, these things don't actually have malintent. They're just animals ripped from their home and placed in Black Mesa. But they'll still attack you, so inevitably they have to be fought. Oh, also, you can definitely still expect to encounter some bugs. This scientist can open an armory with more ammo and a couple grenades. There isn't too much to say about grenades, just good to use on large groups of steel enemies. This is a Vortigaunt. It can swipe its claws and shoot a bolt of green lightning, looking like one of the same things that were staring at you when the incident started. It's bipedal and has shackles on, implying this might be a sentient creature. It's not like we can negotiate, though, so for now, they'll just need to be killed. Here, you'll get your first introduction to the Bull Squid. Here, you'll get your second introduction to the Bull Squid. It can spit a ball of corrosive acid, as well as brutally swing its tail. Not to mention it has a massive health pool. Extreme care should be taken while fighting these guys. Also in this room are barnacles. They're harmless, until you get grabbed by their tongue. It can be one shot with a crowbar, but the real danger is the height it'll drop you from. The way further is blocked by an exposed wire, and it'll even electrocute some head crabs. You'll need to travel through a vent to disable the power, which will be a recurring theme this chapter. The vents will often be infested with head crabs to add some suspense. Moments like these are a favorite of Valve's, but the wonky gold source flashlights are bad at illuminating the many head crabs inside.
You have one of the new ATV suits.
Black Mesa has some built-in defenses. Said defenses, however, don't discriminate. Before that turret can be dealt with, there's actually a shotgun in the room to the left. Its basic firing mode shoots 1 shell, and its secondary fires 2 shells at the same time. Overall, a very solid weapon that I never really stopped using. Okay, time to deal with that turret. The boxes can be used for cover, and just beneath the turret is its off switch. Fun fact, you can also turn it back on. This is like the 10th time I've seen this happen today. There's a bunch of Vortigaunts here, and a guard to help fight them.
Stop! Dark! 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 Stop! Dark! 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 No! Dark! Dark! Dark!
I seem to be seriously wounded.
Did I mention this game has some bugs? Also in this office block, there's a soda machine that is actually interactable. Each can restores a whopping 1 health. The best tip I can give you about soda machines is Don't get desperate enough to have to use soda machines.
I just overheard a secure access transmission. Soldiers have arrived, and they're coming to rescue us. Of course, I have my doubts that we'll live long enough to greet them.
If the military really is here, it'll only be some more time until rescue. It's still a long way away from the surface, though, so our escape isn't over yet. Guards are surprisingly helpful in dispatching smaller enemies, especially when you don't want to waste ammo. Enemies are almost always doing something before you meet them, most often eating a body. They rarely just stand still, and even when they are, it's usually because they're waiting in ambush. Up ahead is a giant walk-in refrigerator. There's plenty of meat hanging on hooks, but a bull squid inside is eating human corpses anyways. It seems they've developed a taste for people. There is so much detail. For example, these roaches will gather near food and also, have 4 eyes? Maybe Black Mesa should be a bit more careful with radiation. When you get out of the vent, you can open the door to the cafeteria and let the guard in. There's another guard here as well as a scientist, but it's very annoying to try and get them all to follow you. Also, the business suit man is back, yet again out of reach though. This crazy little encounter is a perfect example of how fighting isn't always the best choice. I was able to escape this unscathed, and without firing a single bullet. Plus, I even took some grenades. You know, I would do a counter of how many scientists died or something, but I don't think I can count that high.
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only way out! Oh my God, we're doomed!
Attention, all military personnel, atomic, biological, chemical alert.
Well, that was a lot. According to the scientists, there are monsters coming for the location, but that guard, well, we'll need to open it ourselves. Luckily, though, the military, also called the Hazardous Environment Combat Unit, is here to rescue us. Unfortunately, the only things to greet us right now are turrets, which have not been placed very thoughtfully. Like the built-in turret from earlier, it'll fire at anything living, human or alien. Some aliens will also teleport in nearby, often activating them. Luckily, they can be destroyed with gunfire, and are only triggered when crossing a red laser. If that wasn't already dangerous enough, their claymores mounted to the walls. Avoid these at all costs. In the first room, there's a dead soldier with a gun. He won't be needing it anymore. This is the SMG, a powerful gun at close and medium range. Its alt-fire mode shoots out a grenade, but it will be some time until you have access to any of them. Up ahead, a few scientists are stuck between the red lasers that activate the turrets, and, I mean, how do you even get into that situation? In the scientists' eternal kindness and respect for your personal space, they are perfectly willing to walk into the laser and get you all killed. Thank you, scientists. The suit man is also back. He's going to appear throughout the game so many more times I'm not even going to bother mentioning it anymore. Then...
Rescued at last! Thank God you're here! Oh!
the military won't be of any help. Fighting the aliens from before wasn't necessarily easy. The soldiers are a truly intelligent and organized force. In my opinion, they're the most fun enemies to fight in the entire game. Every battle is quick, calculated, and dangerous. It can use grenades, too, and play dirty with them. Some will drop a grenade just before they die. The surface is completely controlled by the military. We have no choice but to go back into Black Mesa.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea of containment is to kill everyone associated with the project. Judging from your hazard suit, I'd say you were part of what went wrong. Isn't that right? Now look, if anyone can end this catastrophe, it's the science team in the Lambda complex at the opposite end of the base. With the transit system out, I couldn't tell you how to get there. But there's an old decommissioned rail system somewhere through here, beyond the silo complex. If you can make it through the rocket test labs, you might be able to worm your way through the old tunnels to track down whatever's left of the Lambda team. You can trust them. You can trust all of us. Good luck.
Ironically, you'll be going deeper into the facility now. The next part has a train, foreshadowing the coming chapters. It goes super fast and will send you flying into the air, but luckily your fall is cushioned by a soft pool of acid.
Hazardous radiation levels detected.
However, something poses a problem.
Fire the rocket engine. Destroy the damned thing before it grows any larger. Stop! No! Get it off me! Get it off! Get it off!
He wasn't kidding. The rocket can't be fired yet, though, as some elements will need to be activated first.
Hey!
They should probably have an IQ test to be a guard. In spite of its eyes, this thing is blind. That just means it has great hearing, though. Moving like normal is a death sentence. Instead, you'll need to crouch and occasionally throw grenades to stay alive. There's oxygen and fuel. Now for power. Well, that sucked. At least you can get some revenge now. In the hole left by the dead outer space octopus's revolver. It doesn't have an alt-fire, but it's still really good. It has incredible accuracy and range, and can one-shot soldiers to the head. I made major use of this throughout the whole game. The military is back, but there are, bigger problems. This abomination is completely resistant to bullets and explosives. For now, the only thing to do is ignore it. This place is actually a decrepit rail system, and you can reach the control room.
Mister, you can get the power on. That train will take us straight to the surface. I would try it myself, but it's a long way down the generator room, and there are things in the way.
To restore power, you'll need to breach a small fortress improvised by the military. This is one of my favorite encounters in the whole game. Not only are there soldiers, but there are also some headcrabs that will sow chaos, which you should absolutely take advantage of. Additionally, you can find some claymores like the military use that you can pick up. These are good, but extremely situational. Below the fort are the generators. It can't be enabled yet because the box is blocking something. In the water are leeches. These aren't dangerous, just very annoying. One swing from the crowbar will kill them, which is nice considering how many of them there are. A few soldiers will attack you while you go back to the railway. They aren't much to worry about, especially compared to the army you just fought. Back at the rail, the monster hasn't gone anywhere. You can lead it through a giant hallway to a pair of generators. With the power activated, they can be turned on. That also electrified the rail, so now it can be used.
I'm never gonna make it. You better go on without me.
Freeman, I've been waiting for you. One of your scientist pals said to give you a message. You're supposed to take this old rail system up to some kind of satellite delivery rocket. I don't know where it is exactly, and the old guy was so worried about getting out of here alive, he didn't tell me. Main thing is, the military aborted the launch, so when you do find the rocket, you'll have to get up to the control room and launch it yourself. He said something about a Lambda team needing the satellite in orbit if they were ever going to clean up this mess.
Most of this chapter will be spent on your train. The track feels like a maze, often hard to navigate, and I think that's part of why this stage gets such a bad rap. You can switch rails by shooting the occasional sign, but it can be difficult to discern where exactly to go. There's plenty of danger, from exposed wires to aliens to the military. The military especially has a heavy presence here. There are ambushes and traps around every corner. If it wasn't already obvious, one of their main goals is clearly to kill you, probably blaming Gordon for causing the incident. They aren't far off, as Gordon did technically push the crystal into the laser, but if not him, it would have just been somebody else. Another HECU soldier type will join in the ambushes, having a black mask and wielding a shotgun.
The next one of you primates even touches me. Yeah!
The soldiers are fighting aliens a lot more here. It seems both sides are ramping up their efforts. The AI is quite reactive, doing things like running from grenades. This can be abused, though. Under a staircase and beneath the box is a small secret area. There are some boxes with a C4, which, like claymores, are good but very situational. Also in that area is some hard-to-read text that says Riller. This is a reference to Dave Riller, an employee at Valve. In a similar vein, the soldiers have also put up some scalding graffiti for you. The military is making use of pillboxes that have a small but powerful autocannon inside. A grenade or other explosive will need to be used to kill the guy manning it. I would always recommend keeping a few grenades in reserve to deal with these. Right next to the pillbox is the rocket the guard from earlier was talking about. The control panel is above ground, so it'll be some more time until we can launch it. Even without you fighting them, the HECU doesn't seem to be doing well. The pillboxes can be very frustrating to fight against. As they constantly fire, you will always need to be behind cover. You can only pop out to throw a grenade, and you won't have the luxury of seeing whether or not it went in. As you go outside, there will be a few soldiers talking to each other.
So, who's this guy, Freeman? They say he was at Ground Zero. Science team? You think he was responsible? Sabotage, maybe? Yeah, maybe. All I know for sure is he's been killing my buddies. Oh yeah, he'll pay. He will definitely pay.
A sniper is nested nearby. He's even placed some bait for you in the form of a medkit, and will shoot you when you grab it. Like pillboxes, a grenade or other explosive will need to be used to kill them. Although it might be frustrating to lose health, it's good to learn how they work now, as they will be much more prevalent in later chapters. Inside the control room, a few more soldiers will be speaking.
I didn't sign on for this shit. Monster shit.
In spite of their sympathy, they will still attack you. With them gone, it's clear to launch the rocket. Blinds will come down that make it barely visible. I guess that's why they didn't want you to see it very well. With the rocket shooting in a perfectly straight line into space, the invasion might not be over, but is at least under more control. Well, that was unfortunate. We'll be stuck in a pool of water with no immediately obvious way out. And yes, I know what you're thinking, you can just jump out of the train before it crashes. However, it will just lead you back to the same area. To get to the next platform, you'll need to release some underwater barrels that float to the surface. Valve loves environmental puzzles like this, but this one isn't very good. It's hard to tell that the barrels are floating and that they can be released. Once you get past that hurdle, it's swimming, swimming, and more swimming. Shortly afterwards, there will be a bit of land, but... That thing is called the ichthyosaur, which is actually just the real name of an extinct marine reptile. A scientist in the next room will talk about it.
Did you see it? They said it was hauled from the Challenger Deep, but I'm positive that beast never swam in terrestrial waters until a week ago. There's a tranquilizer gun in the shark cage, but I'm not sure it would work on this species. You're welcome to try.
Well, that just raises more questions than answers. The creature looks like it's from the other dimension, not Earth, and the incident has been going on for a day, maybe two. So how's it here a week ago? And who is they? The scientists won't say anything else, so for now we're just left wondering. This is a pretty chaotic fight. The crossbow bolts move super slowly, and on the contrary the ichthyosaur is extremely quick. You'll inevitably have to leave the shark cage to avoid drowning, which only adds to the chaos. In terms of the crossbow itself, I have very mixed feelings on it. I won't deny that it has incredible damage, but the bolt moves so slowly. Although the revolver does less damage, I just use the crossbow as a substitute for it whenever I'm low on ammo. The immediate delivery easily makes it the superior weapon. On the upside, though, you can actually scope in with a crossbow, being the only weapon able to do such.
Freeman, it is you, isn't it? The science team has been tracking your progress with the Black Mesa security system. Unfortunately, so is the military. That suit of yours is full of tracking devices. Still, it's better than going naked in this place. It's cold in there, and you'll have to hurry. It could sap your suit power in a matter of moments. If you're bent on reaching the Lambda complex, then you'll want to keep to the older industrial areas where the security system is full of holes. It's worked for me, so far.
That explains how there were so many ambushes earlier, and why it's slowed down since. After going through the ice room and a few more vortigons, we can yet again take an elevator to the surface.
Freeman, right? I've got a message for you. Make sure you don't...
The thing that just killed the guard wasn't actually an alien. It was a Black Ops assassin. They're almost always invisible, seldom revealing themselves. Because it's so hard to see them, claymores are great to use in this fight. Once the assassins are cleared, you can pull a lever that will let you into the actual surface.
Nice hit. Alright, we got him. Where are we taking this Freeman guy? Topside for questioning. What the hell for? We Let's kill him now. And if they find the body... Body? What body?
They meant that very literally. Probably should have made sure there wasn't a convenient stairway of boxes for you to escape first, though. You lose everything from this. The only thing left is your crowbar. Although it can be frustrating to lose the weapons you worked so hard for, it's genius from a development standpoint. Regaining your items feels even more satisfying than the first time, now that you know how the game works. The coming area is an extremely industrial part of the Black Mesa complex. Luckily, a guard will help us like in the start of the game. At least we have a gun now. I don't have too much to say about the rest of residue processing individually. The vast majority of the chapter will be spent navigating the assembly line, and I don't want to waste your time by breaking down each individual part. Although, the place is clearly run down. Barely anyone, if anyone at all, still uses this place. This pipe will even burst just by you walking on it. Fatty? Well, that was sudden. In the heat of combat, you might not notice anything off, but look closely and you'll realize these are kennels, and that's an electrified fence. Wait, what? It would be extremely unlikely for all of these hound eyes to just teleport in here, so what's going on? And what the hell is that? Okay, I'll have a little bit more restraint around buttons next time. That was called an alien grunt, though, and there will be more of them. Even though it's just a quick skirmish, I really love this fight. Having the guard fighting by our side and picking up weapons on the ground, all with the limited ammo, makes it feel like an action movie. Did I mention this game has some bugs? Inside a headcrab pen will be your crossbow, and also these cute little bug dudes called snarks. In Half-Life Alex herself actually keeps one as a pet. Aw, look how cute he is. They'll attack anything you throw them at, so long as it's edible. Do be careful, though, as if they hit a wall or kill their target, the snarks are perfectly willing to settle for eating you. A few bull squids have either teleported in, or broken out of their enclosures, and are killing a lot of the military. Interestingly, infighting can dynamically break out, as they decided to fight each other instead.
What is this thing? Is it some kind of weapon?
Put that down. It's a prototype.
Man, why aren't we using it?
It's much too unpredictable. Don't let it overcharge.
What do you mean, over?
This is the Tau Cannon, my favorite weapon in the whole game. It has a quick firing mode, and a charge up that deals a ton of damage. Be conservative with your use of it, though, as the 100 ammo count might seem like a lot, but will be quickly drained. The combined strength of these lasers will provide enough power to destroy a wall and let you meet the trapped scientist.
A scientist. Thank God. Get us out of here before those military drones figure out where we're hiding. We all have retinal scanner access. Escort us to the lobby, and we can get out of the lab.
You'll have to shut down the surgical unit first. Peters switched it on, but I'm afraid he never made it back.
With the deactivated surgery machine, which I really doubt could actually do that to a grape, the scientist will have clear access to the retinal scanner.
Well, I'll let you out, but I'm warning you, it's hell out there. It's completely under military control. You'll have to sneak and fight your way from one end to the other, and I don't expect you'll meet many of our peers along the way. But if you do survive and somehow make it across the base, you'll end up at the Lambda complex, where the rest of the science team has taken shelter. I wouldn't venture there myself, but I will let them know that you are coming.
This chapter is where a lot of things begin to change. The military starts ramping up their efforts, and the aliens begin using new tactics. And if you're playing on hard mode like I was, the game goes from being pretty difficult to wacko shit insane mode. You are going to die so many times. If this video is making you interested at all in playing Half-Life, please let this be the only tip you listen to. Don't play on hard mode. This helicopter will torment you for much of the chapter. It can fire missiles and use its machine gun on you. The tower cannon can actually be used to destroy the helicopter with a few well-placed charge shots. However, I wouldn't recommend this. It takes a lot of ammo to do so, and another helicopter will immediately take its place. A few headcrabs will be hiding in the sand, but if anything, this just makes it more obvious where they are. Headcrabs aren't the only thing in the sand. There's also a minefield here. The mines are completely invisible, but can be blown up with snarks. At least, if you can bring yourself to do so. This cliff is already difficult, but it especially sucked for me because I was on 7 health the entire time. As some solace, though, there is something waiting at the end. This is the rocket launcher, and there's a perfect target to test it. The alt fire doesn't actually shoot anything, just turn on and off the laser seeking. With the rocket launcher, Gordon stops being a target, and starts becoming a force to be reckoned with. Whew, that montage saved a lot of time, but we're still not quite through with surface tension. This is a long chapter. Also, I should talk about that alien gun I got. This is the Hive Hand, the same that alien grunts use. It has a slow firing normal mode with hornets that seek out targets. Its alternative mode is fast firing, but won't seek enemies. It also has infinitely replenishing ammo. Good for enemies around corners, but not much else. This door can't be opened by yourself. A guard in that building will have to open it for you.
Stand back. Hello.
There's an odd bug with this door. Instead of reducing your health if you get caught behind it, it does, that. My armor literally went so high it started scrolling through every UI element in the game. I have no idea how this works, but if there are any coders in the comments, feel free to try and explain. I didn't actually use this in my run, but if you do, for the rest of the game you'll just be... I guess it was only so long until another one of them.
Come in, Cooper. Do you copy? Forget about Freeman. We're abandoning the base. If you have any last bomb targets, mark them on the tactical map. Otherwise, get the hell out of there. Repeat, we are pulling out and commencing airstrikes. Give us targets or get below.
Mortar strikes can still be called down on this thing. In spite of the height, you are not safe from the Gargantua. A well-placed shot can kill it, though. Back to the underground. It's the only place that's safe now, since the military is shelling everything above. Unfortunately, this has only driven the aliens underground with you. Their numbers are incredible here, and are infecting the very environment. Cells of angry snarks were blocked away, and everywhere is teeming with alien grunts. Although the HECU has officially left by this point, there are still stragglers. These encounters with the military are the last ones in the game, so it's time to talk about opposing force. This expansion is good. Really good. So good that it destroyed the Half-Life community. I won't get into any of the specifics because it is very likely that I'll cover it in the future, but to sum it up, Opposing Force introduces some new factors that disrupt the overall lore. There's been a lot of debate as to whether or not it's canon, as it was made by Gearbox and not Valve. So, if you want to be involved in the story of Half-Life, just be aware of this. Anyways, back to the original game. The few remaining troops are caught up fighting the invaders. Fights like these are some of the best in the game. It's great to see the dynamic battles, especially on such a scale with so many units. A decommissioned tank can be used to blow up the door, and behind it is an alien turret. Weirdly enough, this is the only time it appears, but it rotates extremely quickly and deals ridiculous damage. A rocket will easily destroy it, but the fact it's completely automated suggests the aliens have surprisingly advanced tech. Finally at the illustrious Lambda Lab. Well, almost. We aren't to the actual laboratories quite yet. There's another encounter with assassins, the second and final one in the game. It's not too different from the first encounter, but this time you have the knowledge of how to fight them. After a battle with alien grunts, a scientist will let you inside.
I apologize, Mr. Freeman, but I couldn't risk opening that door until I was sure you had scoured the area. This is the last entrance to the Lambda complex. Every other has been sealed off to contain the invasion. When we realized that you might actually make it here, we drew straws to see who should stay behind to let you through. Obviously, I drew the short one. My colleagues are waiting at the tip of the Lambda reactor. Waiting for you, I mean. The reactor is shut down right now, but you can activate it on your way up. You'll have to flood the core anyway to get into the teleportation labs. You're not authorized to know about those. But I can see you already know a great deal more than any one man is supposed to.
Were you in weapons research too? I built the glue-on gun, but I just can't bring myself to use it on a living creature. You don't look as if you have any trouble killing things.
The glue-on gun is the final weapon introduced. Its beam is very powerful, and it shares ammo with the Tau cannon like the pistol and SMG do. Although its damage is unrivaled, it devours ammo like nothing else. A constant stream of it will use all the ammunition you have in seconds. The aliens are sending the full brunt of their forces to stop you. From here on out, it's almost exclusively grunts and vortigaunts. The Lambda facility has an unusually high quality of construction compared to the rest of Black Mesa. Almost all of it has survived destruction and is still standing. That's not much of a surprise, as if they truly are developing teleportation technology, it would certainly be the most important sector of the facility. With these pumps activated, the central reactor can be flooded. These are the actual labs, and there really is teleportation research here. The next few parts are platforming making use of portals. This room, for example, needs you to time your jumps correctly so you don't fall to your death.
Freeman, you finally found us.
So this is the guy. We thought you'd never make it.
This is the supply depot for our first survey team. Quite a few handsome specimens were collected from the border world and brought back this way. Before the survey members started being collected themselves, that is. We suspect there is an immense portal over there, created by the intense concentration of a single powerful being. You will know it when you see it. I hate to say this, Gordon, but you must kill it if you can.
Yeah, you'd better kill it.
Of course, you owe us nothing, Mr. Freeman, but you've come this far. You know as much about these creatures as anyone.
Enough to know that if you don't wipe it out, there won't be much for you to come home to.
Yes. So, if you're willing, my colleague is waiting for you at the main portal controls. He will open the gates for you, Mr. Freeman. Do hurry.
Don't forget to gear up, and I'll cover you while you're waiting for that portal to warm up.
There's just about everything you'll need for the final stretch in here. Finally, there's the long jump module. It takes some getting used to, but is necessary to properly traverse Zen. It's scarily similar to the anti-mass spectrometer that started this whole mess. As the teleporter starts, a new alien from Zen begins attacking. These are controllers, probably the most annoying enemy in all of Half-Life. They'll fly around shooting orbs of energy at you. They're just too far away to hit with most weapons, which is what makes them so frustrating. Okay, as much as I would like to praise this game even more, I'm not gonna lie to you. The last few chapters of Half-Life are complete shit. There are a lot of reasons why it gets so bad, and I'll point it out as I go along. Not all of it is bad, though. The environment, for example, is some of the best yet. It's a pure expression of incredible creativity, even with the technological limits. Down the platforms there's a massive area, featuring these odd crystal turrets. And a room inside these structures are these 3 beams. Activating them, then releasing a few butterfly-like creatures will turn on the portal to the next chapter. And that's the first problem. It's too short. Like, that little segment was the entire chapter. After doing it once, you'll never spend more than 5 minutes on this stage. But this is the least of the issues with Zen as a whole. This is the Gonarch, the matriarch of the headcrabs. Patriarch of the headcrabs. In addition to that, it can swipe at you and birth baby headcrabs, immediately ready to kill you. This fight is just incredibly boring, though. The entire fight consists of damaging it enough till it runs away, then damaging it more, then it running away, then finally killing it. Except, that didn't even properly happen for me because it got bugged. Instead of running away on the second to last part, it just stood there and repeatedly killed me. I had to reload the entire fight for it to function. Alright, this is definitely a controversial opinion, but I think this entire fight should have just been cut from the game. Headcrabs continued to appear in Half-Life 2, so killing the Gonarch didn't actually mean anything. Either there are more Gonarchs still producing headcrabs, or there are already just so many of them that it doesn't matter. These areas definitely look good, but the game was obviously never designed to be played in open zones like this. There are Vortigaunts all over the surface, and controllers in the air. The Vortigaunt's lightning attack hits immediately after shooting it, but normally this can be managed by using indoor cover. Here there just is no cover. These enemies will spawn infinitely as well. How you're supposed to get to the next portal is by going to this inconspicuous unlit cave, getting on this moving pillar, jumping across some sky islands, then riding this flying alien to the next portal. That's not very clear, and you'll be pestered by controllers for the entire second half of it. As interesting as this sequence is, it just doesn't feel built around the player. This is, without a doubt, the best of all the segments in Interloper. This alien camp can call for reinforcements, there's a gargantua which can be killed with a glue-on gun, and the tentacle creatures make a short return. It's neat to see all of the Zen creatures in their natural habitat. As surprising as everything in Zen is, this might just take the cake. These Vortigaunts, enemies which were hostile the entire game, don't attack you. They just walk around, going about their business. In the next part, though, the Vortigaunts are hostile again. The presence of controllers seemingly implies that the Vortigaunts are being forced to fight against their will. Where everything else was just a natural environment, this is a factory. On the conveyor belts are these large things with a blue shell. Some of them don't have the shell and can be broken. This factory is literally creating soldiers. With something sophisticated as this, the invasion of Earth was definitely planned. But by what?
I am the last.
As much as I desperately want to say that the Nihilonth makes up for Zen's issues, it just... this is a horrendous fight. The Nihilonth shoots tracking teleportation orbs. These will take you to another location that you need to escape to begin fighting again. It also shoots these electric orbs that deal a ridiculous amount of damage. So how do you deal with that? By sitting behind a pillar. There are a few boosters scattered around the arena, but they're extremely inconsistent. This platform can only be accessed by one of said boosters, and it's practically impossible. A good 90% of the time you'll come just too short, and the worst part is that it's the only place in the entire arena you can heal in. After finally getting his health low enough, a booster can be used to get high enough to explode his brain.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit. I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapons. Most of them were government property. As for the suit, I think you've earned it. The border world, Zen, is in our control for the time being, thanks to you. Quite a nasty piece of work you managed over there. I am impressed. That's why I'm here, Mr. Freeman. I have recommended your services to my employers. And they have authorized me to offer you a job. They agree with me that you have limitless potential.
The reveal of G-Man still manages to be one of the best I've ever seen. In just a few lines, so much is revealed, yet so much is also kept vague or entirely secret. I can't say too much about him because, to be honest, not much is known. Even in the next few games, basically nothing more is revealed. To this day, G-Man is one of the most discussed characters in gaming. For decades, people have been trying to figure out his goals, motivation, and who his employers are. He delivers you a simple ultimatum: join him or die. Although I said I wouldn't be talking about it at the start of this video, Black Mesa is at least worth mentioning. It makes changes across the board, but by far the biggest is Zen. All of it is completely revamped, with the first chapter going from a few minutes to well over an hour. With how much was done, it seems to me like Black Mesa was made just to fix Zen. Although making it longer was desperately needed, it does begin to suffer from being too long. But, as a whole, Zen is definitely better for its changes. Alright, time to deal with that pesky video title so this isn't clickbait anymore. Many people know that Half-Life is influential, but not nearly as many know why. You can boil it down to one word: story. Pretty much no game before Half-Life had a story, or at least not a good one. Let's take Doom, for example. The original Doom is remembered for having good gameplay, and basically nothing else. It wouldn't matter if you were fighting demons or a 3-year-old Strongs, the story was just not important. Half-Life changed things. Not only did it have a story, it was legitimately good. Obviously, not on par with something like a novel or movie, but it proved video games could have narratives. Since Half-Life's release, you will flat out not see AAA games without a story. If anything, many modern games, especially indies, are primarily mediums to tell their story. Thank you so much for sitting through this video. This has taken a lot of time and effort to make, and I appreciate you spending your own to watch it. If you don't mind putting up with more than a little jank, and, well, the entirety of Zen, Half-Life is definitely worth a play.